Having tough conversations is probably one of the most important things that I've noticed in my own life that has allowed me to figure out how to get better at certain things. Let's go over that for a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of my some story slash backstory slash whatever, and just to explain to you what I mean by this and what does that look like in a day-to-day life example. So over the past 4 years, I've been improving myself, building my own business, learning a high-income skill, going on dates, going to the gym, and just taking care of all of the areas specifically of my life that can be improved, okay? And so what I've noticed is that what moves the needle more further than anything else has been those tough conversations with other people, uncomfortable conversations with people that have better skills than I do. I sought out improvement from a very early position at the start of those 4 years, and ever since then I've always tried to put myself in a room where there are people that are smarter than I am, or like they make more money than I do, or that have more resources, or that are more wealthy. And so what I've noticed is that it doesn't matter what it is. If it's you're learning martial arts, you're learning from the gym, you're learning from a bodybuilder, you're learning from business, you're learning from a mentor, you're learning from dating advice, you're learning anything you're learning by having tough conversations about your previous past experiences that aren't really comfortable, and by also making sure that you ask those people, hey, what would you do if you were me? What kind of advice would you give me? What kind of advice would you give to your past self? And then answering that and just being like, hey, you know what, actually you're right, because like I've been thinking about this all wrong and I've been fucking it up over and over, and I feel like shit, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it feels bad talking about it. Like, I remember I remember the first time I was having those very hard conversations. It felt like shit. It felt like shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had the people I wanted to be a part of their group, and it's kind of like you feel this social anxiety as to not tell them anything that's happening, because if you do, they might judge you for it. Because if you feel that you're like, it's kind of like imposter syndrome. I don't know if you've ever had it. The only time I've ever had it was whenever I was in a group of people that were all more capable than I was, or that all made more money than I was, and I felt like the odd one out. But I still forced myself to go there, to put myself in that environment, because I know that by doing that, it allowed me to have those tough conversations. Like, hey, they would ask me like, hey, what have you done this week? What have you done? Like, have you done what I said to do last week? And I would have to tell them like, either yes, I've done it, or no, I haven't done it because da da da. And I would have to give some excuse. And every single time they're like, yeah, you just come up with excuses every time you don't take action. And just hearing that just make me feel like, fuck, I really need to do this. And so I did it because I really wanted to belong to this group. And now with a bit more taking a step back, I guess, from that, has made me think, you know what? That group, I didn't even actually want to be a part of that group. Like, all of those people in that group, like, do not resemble me whatsoever, like, at all. Like, they're not the kinds of people I want to become. Maybe like one of them, maybe. But to be perfectly honest, everybody's gonna be different. Everybody's gonna want something different in life. And so not only do you need to find that for yourself first, but you also need to think, okay, what are the hard conversations I need to have with people? And it doesn't necessarily need to be like a conversation with somebody that is better than you. It could be something as simple as having that conversation, that tough conversation with someone you love. Maybe it's someone you don't love. Maybe you have like a wife that you really don't appreciate anymore, and say, hey, we need to have a talk. Like, we need to have a hard conversation, because like, I'm gonna be honest, like I feel different than I used to before. And you sit down and you have that tough talk, saying like, hey, like everything that you do now, like I it feels like shit saying this, but I don't love you anymore. And saying that, and then having those tough conversations, and being able to have restraint and like control and calmness, just to be able to go through those things in order to understand, okay, I need to go through this in order to grow as an individual. It is okay. Like, it is fun. And sometimes you're going to have these conversations with other people. Sometimes you're going to have them with yourself. I've had a lot of tough conversations with myself inside my own head. And even though that sounds funny just saying it out loud, it is truly the most important relationship that you have, the one you have with yourself in the entire world. Because if you don't respect yourself, if you don't take yourself seriously, if you don't have any kind of self-esteem, or in that case, you won't be able to do much in today's society. So if you want to grow as an individual, if you want to get better, if you want to always seek improvement, if you always want to do better on a day-to-day basis, what you need to understand is that there are going to be tough conversations, not only with other people, but also with yourself. I've had this tough conversation before, like, yeah, I really don't like this fucking habit of mine, and I fucking hate it. How do I stop doing it, and how do I replace it or change it or do something else so that I don't have to do that anymore? And I've managed to have those hard conversations with myself enough times so that now I feel okay admitting whenever something's annoying me, something's bothering me, and I really, really want to change it, and I don't want to just cover it up and ignore it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to really quickly talk about this subject, because it's something that not that many people actually think about. Because everybody feels like whenever we're having a tough conversation, oh, you're hurting my feelings, da da da. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna moralize and fucking judge and whatever the fuck, then in that case, you're never gonna improve. If people are always saying like, oh yeah, don't talk about that, we don't argue, we don't do this, we don't do that, then in that case, how the fuck are you gonna get better? If you can't expose the root cause of the problem, even if it feels like shit by exposing it, it's kind of like when you have a tooth cavity, when you have a tooth infection. You have to expose that raw nerve that is hurting in order to fix it, or to plug it up, or to heal it, or to extract it, or to destroy it. Because if you don't, it's just going to spread. It's just going to infect your entire face, and you're just going to die. Like, you're just going to have toothache for the rest of your life, which is not good. Or you might end up losing your teeth, which is probably even worse. So you really need to think for yourself. What can I do? Who can I talk to? What do I have to do? And it could be, if you're dating someone that you know you won't be with until the end of time, you need to set a firm boundary. Even if that's going to hurt their feelings, you need to stop caring about that. You need to stop caring about feelings, and you need to be okay going through reality and cause and effect, and be like, okay, I need to set this down, because if I don't, I am going to be getting fucked in the future. Like, I'm going to be fucking myself over in the future, because I'm going to feel like I depend on this person, which I don't want to be. And this person is going to be depending on me to do things as well. It's like I don't want to disappoint them, but I don't want to disappoint myself at the end of the day. Like that's the most important thing. So what you need to understand is just that. It's very simple. I wanted to make a quick, shorter video for today, just to see if making shorter videos actually makes any difference for the amount of views. Because like the channel has grown quite slowly, I'm not gonna lie. I think we've got like 178 subscribers, which is pretty good. I started reposting around the 115 mark. So we are doing good, but at the same time, I know we could be doing better, and that is entirely on me because I'm the one posting the content. So with that said, let me know in the comments what you would like me to like talk about. If you have a different like specific subject, if you have something specific that you would like me to talk about or explain or give my take on, let me know. I'm happy to do that. If you have any advice on like what types of content you would like to see more, like different types of shorts, different types of videos, long form, short form, whatever, just so that I can have a better idea as to what to do, would actually be extremely helpful, and I would really appreciate it. So yeah, shorter video for today. I've got a shitload of stuff to do, and yeah. So to summarize, have the tough conversation. You need to have that tough conversation. By me just telling you this, you should think, okay, that's right, there's this conversation I need to have that I didn't really want to have, but I'm going to have it because it's important. It's important for me to take care of that. So I need to do it. This is the stuff I used to go through fucking every day, bro. At the very start, I felt like shit, bro. Felt like complete trash. And by just repeating it over and over, you start getting better at it, and you start getting like fine, like, oh yeah, it's all right. Like I don't really care. Like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, oh boo-hoo, you hurt my feelings. Just let's solve the problem and get done with it. Like, get over it, bro. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So if you have a tough conversation that you know you should be taking, that you should be going through and sitting down and talking it through with some other person, maybe it's yourself. Maybe you have a bad habit, you have bad habits. Maybe you have things that you don't want to do anymore. Maybe there are things that you want to do, but you don't feel like now's the right time. Well, maybe it actually is, and you're just too scared to start. That's what I'm talking about. So have that deep conversation with yourself. Have that conversation with other people. Make sure you understand what it is you actually need to do. What is the objective of that conversation? And with that said, I wish you all the best. It's a beautiful day. So it's back to work. And I will see you in the next one. See ya.